Hi, this is Blue Reid, and today I'd like to send out a video letter to educators. So first of all, I better tell you who I am and why you might want to listen to me. Maybe you don't, but I'm a professional artist, have been showing professionally for about 20 years. I also teach classes. I teach drawing and painting, and in addition to that, I am a single mom of 3 awesome, amazing boys who are 8th grade, 5th grade, and 1st grade, one of whom is special needs. I am the art docent at the school, and now I'm the track coach. So I'm around schools a lot. And because I'm quite visible in the school system, and I know a lot of kids and things, people come to me a lot with namely one concern these days, which is they're cutting our art program. They've let go our art teacher and they're making our art program the after-school program or whatever, and people are really concerned about this. So I wanted to speak to that a little bit. So I am addressing this to administrators and educators everywhere throughout the nation. And I want to start out by saying I'm at schools a lot, and so the first thing I need to say is thank you so much. You're doing amazing jobs, and it's hard work, and it's pretty thankless work, and I for one, I really appreciate it, and I know you're doing all you can on a very low budget. And I know that a lot of those cool things you do come straight out of your own pockets. And so I hope people are really being grateful and saying thank you, and if they're not, here's one person saying, thanks for what you do. So this in no way is to belittle anything that you're already doing, because I know you're doing a lot. But I judge that you may say, well, I know what you're gonna say, why we should keep our art programs, but hear me out, because I think what you think I'm going to say is that, you know, that restful state of art is so important when you are so busy at school, and that's true. But it's not all there is to it. And so I would love to be able to give you a second opinion today, and maybe it's useful to you. I hope it is. So as educators, I'm certain that you are aware that the brain has 2 hemispheres. And by age 9, the skills of a child begin to localize in one or the other hemispheres. So most of what we do all day long at school, 6 straight hours for most of us, is hitting that left brain really, really hard. And it's a great thing. And most of those kids have very, very strong left brains, and that's awesome. No problems with that. The problem is, how do we train those kids to access the other half of their brain? So I don't hold the opinion that we should continue to have art in the schools because I think it's important for everybody to learn how to be an artist. That's not my opinion, actually. But I do think that we will create a better society if everybody has access to their entire brain instead of half. So how do we do that? We're really good at providing access to the left brain, and it's lovely when art becomes craft and it's restful and they're just pushing colors around and it feels really good. There's a lot of value in that. And I also see how that could easily become a docent program or an after-school program, those kinds of things, which is what's happening to art in general, is that it's getting cut. We gotta cut somewhere, so we're gonna let the art program go, we're gonna let the teachers go. So, I'm not talking about that kind of art. What I'm talking about is your hardcore drawing classes, your difficult classes, because that's one really easy gateway to accessing the right side of our brains. And it is easily gradable, and it is attainable, it is learnable, it is teachable. How to draw accurately. Not that you may need that life skill any more than you may need geometry in your particular line of work. That's not the point. The point is you will be a greater scientist or whatever it is you want to do if you can access that creative side of your brain. And that's what we want to do, is produce human beings or educate human beings who can access both sides of their brain. So I've heard a lot of people say, well, art is so subjective, there's no way to grade it. I have a college degree in it. My professors never had any trouble grading anything I did. And I don't know why we're so afraid to give low grades for art. We're not afraid to, you know, we don't want to turn them off to art. And I don't understand this either, because if we don't really want them to become artists, and not many people are hoping that their children will become artists, is what I notice. Everybody thinks it's great that you know, people can be artists, but it's a tough field. Many fields are tough. But the point is, we want people to be as creative as they can possibly be, as whole as they can be, and as grounded. And you'll do that better if you can, you know, at least rest the left side of your brain. If not, become extremely creative, at least see the value in resting the left side. It gets pretty worn out. So one way to do that is with a drawing class. And whether or not you can represent something accurately is easily gradable. And I don't think you're gonna turn off anybody's spirit too much, you know, by giving them a lousy grade on something that they weren't able to perform. We sure aren't afraid to do that in any other class, math or science or anything else. If it's represented accurately, it's probably because that person has figured it out, has figured out how to access that side of their brain that requires a lot of quiet and a lot of focus. And that's what we want them to be able to do. You want them to be able to go to that Zen place that's really quiet and focused, not just for art, because it's important to know how to draw a person or a portrait, but because we want them to do that in all disciplines. So that's why I would vote, keep your art program. And not only that, but empower your art teachers to do more than just crafts, to get in there and teach them that hard perspective that everybody wants to cry about. Because yeah, it's hard, but it's worth learning, because it will help you just the same as any of those other classes. If I don't want to be a scientist and I resist learning all about science, you know, I'm going to be better for it anyway. And it's the same with art. So thanks for listening, and I hope you will keep your art programs. Thank you.